Hello, welcome to Study with Danny. Danny is here with you to study about the patterns and numbers in the nature in the world under the subject of mathematics in the modern world. First of all, what is pattern? A pattern is a series or a sequence that repeats, a repeated decorative design. Meanwhile, math patterns are sequences that repeat based on a rule, and a rule is a set way to calculate or solve a problem. Patterns helps us to find logical connections as well as to form generations, predictions, and even identifying relationships. In nature, natural patterns include symmetries, trees, spirals, meanders, waves, foams, tessellations, cracks, and stripes. The importance of patterns in mathematics is finding and understanding patterns that is crucial to mathematical thinking and problem solving, and it is easier for students to understand patterns if they know how to organize their information. Struggling students, including those with disabilities, can find it helpful to organize the information in a problem. The first pattern that I will share to you is about symmetry. What is symmetry? A symmetry indicates that you can draw an imaginary line across an object and the resulting parts are mirror images of each other. Like for example, a butterfly, a snowflake, and even Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man. Here are some types of symmetry patterns. First is bilateral symmetry. A bilateral symmetry is one of the types of symmetry because butterfly is symmetric about the axis indicated by the line. Note that the left and right portions are equally the same. At Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man's image shows the proportion and the symmetry of the human body. This is basically if you look at yourself through a mirror. Rotational symmetry is another type of symmetry depending on the numbers of sides or faces that are symmetrical. For example, a snowflake. It has 8-fold symmetry. If you rotate a snowflake, you can still see the same appearance as the original position. Angle of rotation is the smallest measure of the angle that can be rotated while still preserving the original position. Another common way of describing rotational symmetry is order of rotation. Order of rotation is a figure that has a rotational symmetry of order n. N is fold rotational symmetry. If 1 over n of a complete turn leaves the figure unchanged, the formula to complete the angle of rotation is 360 degrees over n. For example, a snowflake. Snowflake's pattern repeats 8 times, indication that there is a 8-fold symmetry. Using the given formula, the angle of rotation is 45 degrees. By the way, did you ever wonder why the honeycombs has hexagon shapes rather than any other shapes? Honeycombs is part of a nature problem. To answer this question, a packing problem will solve this problem. Though, what is packing problem? A packing problem is a class of optimization problem in mathematics that involve attempting to pack objects together into containers. It is finding the optimum method of filling up a given space, such as a cubic or a spherical container. The goal is to either pack a single container as densely as possible or pack all objects using a few containers as possible. To answer the packing problem about the honeycombs, we have two proofs, which is square packing and hexagonal packing. Now, we have circles of radius 1 centimeter. Then each will have an area of pi square centimeter. We will fill a plane using the square packing and hexagonal packing and compute its percentage. First is the square packing. To compute the percentage of square packing area covered by the circle, we will use this formula for this figure. area of circles divided by the area of the square times 100. Inside of the square can build a one circle. The area of circle is pi square centimeter. Then we have 4 centimeter. To get the percentage of the square packing is pi square centimeter divided by 4 centimeter times 100 is equals to 78.54%. Therefore, the area of square packing is 78.54%. Next is hexagonal packing. In hexagonal packing, we can think that each sides of hexagon is composed of 6 equilateral triangle. To compute the percentage of the hexagonal packing, we need to get the area of each triangle first. The formula would be side squared times square root of 3 over 4. Each side is equal to 2 cm, so 2 cm squared times square root of 3 over 4. 2 cm squared is 4 cm squared. We will cancel both 4, so therefore, the area of each triangle in the hexagonal packing is square root of 3 cm squared. Now, to compute the percentage of hexagonal packing, we have now the area of hexagonal packing, which is square root of 3 square centimeter. Why? Since each triangle has square root of 3 square centimeter, we have 6 triangles. And basing on the figure of hexagonal packing, we can build another 2 circles, which has the total of 3 pi square centimeter. To compute the percentage of hexagonal packing area, we will use this formula to figure area of circles divided by the area of the square times 100. So, the 3 pi square centimeter divided by 6 square root of 3 square centimeter times 100. The answer we got is 90.69%. Comparing the square and the hexagonal packing, it obviously expressed that hexagonal shape has more space to cover than the square packing. And this answers our question about why honeycombs has hexagonal shapes rather than any other shapes. Here are some other kinds of nature pattern. First is the tiger stripes and hyena spots. Patterns exhibited in the external appearance of animals. The tiger looks and the hyena spot. These seemingly random designs are believed to be governed by the mathematical equation. According to the theory of Alan Turing, the chemical factors in the cell determine growth patterns and influence factors like hair color. There are 2 chemical processes, which is reaction and diffusion. Next is the sunflower. There is a definite pattern on clockwise and counterclockwise arc of spirals extending outward from the center of the flower. Now, the snail shell. The snail shell expands proportionally once the snail grows too. This process results in a refined spiral structure, which is called equiangular spiral. Lastly is the flower petals. Most of the flower petals has 5 petals, which is the number of petals are all Fibonacci numbers. Now, let's proceed to the population growth. What is population growth? Population growth is the increase in the number of individuals in a population. To model the population growth, we have a formula which is A is equals to P times E raised to RT. The A will be the size of population after it grows. The P is the initial number of people. The R is the rate of growth. The T is simply the time, and the E is the Euler's constant with the value of 2.718. Let's have this example. The exponential growth model is A is equals to 30e raised to 0.02 describes the population of the city in the Philippines in thousands, 3 years after 1995. Let's answer the following. A. What was the population of the city in 1995? B. What will be the population in 2017? Let's solve first the population of the city in 1995. Since our exponential growth model describes the population T years after 1995, we consider 1995 as T equals to 0. The given would be A is equals to 30E raised to 0.02, then an open and close parenthesis, then 0 inside. Any number raised to 0, the answer is 1. Then 1 times 30 equals 30. Take note that this is in thousand, meaning the population of the city in 1995 is 30,000. Next thing now is the population in 2017. We will just subtract the year 1995 to 2017 for us to get the T. Then from 1995 to 2017, there is 22 years apart. That would be our T. Given the exponential growth, A is equal to 30E raised to 0.02 times 22. Now, 0.02 times 22 is equals to 0.44. Then, E, which is 2.718 raised to 0.44 is equals to 1.55271 times 30 is equals to 46.5813, meaning the population of the city in 2017 would be 46,581. That's all for the patterns and numbers in nature in the world. But before we end the discussion, here are some simple problems of a pattern. Example number 1. We have 6, 11, 16, 21, 26. What would be the next digit after 26? As you can notice, there is a pattern between 6 and 11. From 6, how can we get 11? 6 plus 5 is equals to 11. Therefore, each digit will add 5 to achieve the next pattern. 6 plus 5 is equals to 11. 11 plus 5 is equals to 16. 16 plus 5 is equals to 12. 21 plus 5 is equals to 26. And 26 plus 5 would be 31. The answer on this pattern would be 31. Example number 2. We have 5, 1, 9, 5, 13, 9. What would be the next digit after 9? As you can notice, there's a pattern between 5 and 9. From 5, how can we get 1? 5 minus 4 is equals to 1. But what about the next digit? Well, there's another pattern between 1 and 9. 1 plus 8 is equals to 9. Each digits will subtract 4 and add 5 to achieve the next pattern, meaning 9 plus 8 is equals to 17. The answer on this pattern would be 17. Example number 3. We have A, D, G, J, M, P. Each letter has 2 letters in between to get the next pattern. Since we have A, D, G, J, M, and P, knowing that there's 2 letters in between, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, meaning the next pattern would be letter S. Example number 4. We have 3 cubes with different size of dots in it. What would be the next box? First is lower left 1 dot, then upper left 2 dot, then upper right 3 dot, and lastly lower right 4 dot. Therefore, the next pattern would be lower right 4 dot box. And lastly, example number 5. Just the same with the previous example, first diamond is equivalent with 1 diamond. Second, were added with 2 diamond, which is now 3 diamonds. Third, the 3 diamonds were added with another 2 diamonds, which is now 5 diamonds. 5 diamonds added to another, then it will be 7 diamonds. Therefore, the next pattern would be 7 diamonds. That is all for this topic. Thank you so much for studying patterns and numbers in nature in the world with me. Also, make sure to check Wow Math channel for more mathematics lessons. I hope you learned something with me. Bye!